What if the world was dying by degrees, and no one could stop it? Not even the mightiest warriors or the most brilliant minds. What if the very storms that gave life were now tearing it apart? Welcome to Roshar, a storm-lashed world of shattered landscapes, ancient mysteries, and a war that has long lost its purpose. The Way of Kings, by Brandon Sanderson, is not just a fantasy novel, it's an epic revolution in storytelling. A saga where magic and philosophy collide, where broken men rise and fall and rise again. This is a book that doesn't just pull you in, it throws you into the heart of the storm. Roshar is a world unlike any other. Instead of gentle rains, it is ruled by high storms, furious tempests that tear across the landscape with terrifying power. Life here has adapted in remarkable ways, from flora that withdraw into stone to crustacean-like creatures that thrive in this brutal environment. On this rocky continent, humans have carved out kingdoms led by high princes and ruled by monarchs. But all is far from peaceful. The continent is embroiled in a prolonged war on the shattered plains, a desolate battlefield riddled with deep chasms and treacherous terrain. The war began as a quest for vengeance after the assassination of King Gavilar of Alethkar, and it has since devolved into a ruthless competition for gem hearts, harvested from monstrous creatures known as chasm fiends. At the center of this sprawling saga is Kaladin Stormblessed, a former surgeon turned soldier, turned slave. Once a promising spearman in the army, Kaladin is betrayed and sold into slavery, branded a dangerous troublemaker. He ends up serving in a bridge crew, a group of expendable men, used to carry massive bridges across the chasms of the battlefield, often directly into enemy fire. Life is brutal short and filled with despair, but Kaladin is no ordinary slave. Within him burns a sense of responsibility, a drive to protect, even when all seems hopeless. He slowly starts to change his fate, and the fate of those around him. As he earns their trust and pushes them to fight for survival, he begins discovering strange powers tied to a mysterious force called Stormlight. He is bonded with a spren named Syl, a tiny creature of light and curiosity who begins to unlock his true potential. Meanwhile, high above in the world of nobility, Dalinar Kholin, brother of the assassinated King Gavilar, wrestles with visions and inner conflict. Once a fierce warlord known as the Blackthorn Dalinar, now follows a strict code of honor inspired by a cryptic ancient text known as the Way of Kings. His behavior alienates him from other high princes who see his obsession with honor and unity as weakness. But Dalinar believes the visions he receives during high storms are messages from the ancient past, warnings of a coming calamity. He begins to suspect that the war on the shattered plains is not what it seems, that a greater threat looms, one that requires not conquest but unity. As he navigates political intrigue and battles external enemies, he must also battle his own fears, his own memories, and the legacy of a brutal past. On a different path entirely is Shallan, a young noblewoman from a fallen house who journeys to the court of Jasnah Kholin, a brilliant and controversial scholar. Shallan's mission is secret and desperate. She must steal Jasnah's magical soulcaster to save her family from ruin. But as she becomes Jasnah's ward and learns the true nature of scholarship, magic, and history, her plan becomes increasingly conflicted. Shallan is not just clever, she is gifted with the rare ability to create illusions and memories through drawing. And as she uncovers truths hidden in ancient texts and religions, she begins to see that her world is built on lies and her destiny is far greater than theft. The more she learns, the more she is pulled into a cosmic mystery about the nature of the world and the beings called the Voidbringers who once nearly destroyed it. Interwoven through these personal arcs are ancient epigraphs, mysterious interludes and historical flashbacks that reveal a hidden history, a broken promise, and an ancient order of knights known as the Radiants. Once protectors of the world, wielding enchanted weapons and armor known as shard blades and shard plate, the Radiants mysteriously abandoned their cause in an event called the Day of Recreance. Their armor and weapons became the most prized possessions in the world, turning their legacy into myth. But something is changing. Stormlight is stirring. Old powers are returning. And the truth about the Radiants and the desolation they once fought to prevent is far more complex and terrifying than anyone could have imagined. Sanderson's masterstroke is how he weaves massive world-building with deep character exploration. Kaladin's journey from despair to defiance is raw, emotional, and inspiring. His battle with depression, his struggle to protect those he loves, and his slow acceptance of responsibility make him a hero, forged in pain. Dalinar is a study in transformation, a man trying to redefine strength, not through power, but principle. His visions and doubts echo the internal conflicts we all face between duty and desire, fear and faith. Shallan's arc is one of secret's identity and self-deception, a layered narrative that mixes vulnerability with fierce intelligence. What makes The Way of Kings truly unforgettable, though, is its sense of scale. This isn't a single story. It's 1,000 stories connected by fate, history, and the coming storm. Every chapter builds a sense of awe and urgency. The magic system is grounded in rules and mystery. The politics are sharp and complex, and the stakes feel both deeply personal and world-ending. And just when you think you understand what's going on, Sanderson pulls the rug out from under you with a revelation that changes everything. The climax is both breathtaking and brutal. Kaladin's moment of truth as he faces death and betrayal brings all his pain and growth to a cathartic explosion of power. Dalinar's confrontation with the other High Princes reveals the true cost of honor, and Shallan's discoveries peel back the veil on the ancient secrets that could either save or doom Roshar. The book ends not with resolution, but with momentum. The promise of more revelations, more battles, and more soul-shattering truths in the volumes to come. In The Way of Kings, Brandon Sanderson doesn't just tell a story. He builds a world, a philosophy, and a legacy. It's a book that demands your attention, rewards your patience, and lingers in your thoughts long after the final page. If you crave a fantasy that challenges your mind, breaks your heart, and lights your imagination on fire, this is your call to adventure. Let the storm come. Let the journey begin. If you want to listen full audiobook for free, link in description. Thank you.